Okay, cool. So today I want to talk about deserts. Like, what are deserts? This is what the Holy Spirit revealed to me this afternoon, right? So essentially, there are two types of deserts. There are cold deserts and there are dry deserts, right? Examples of dry deserts are like the Sahara, the Gobi Desert, and then there are cold deserts like Antarctica, the North Pole, the poles essentially. So the Bible talks about in the book of Genesis that there are waters above and then there are waters below, right? So there's no space, right? Space is like a myth. It's like Santa Claus but for adults, right? Okay, cool. So if there's no space, then what is a desert, right? How do deserts work, right? Okay, cool. So essentially, so again, waters above, water below. But for deserts, if there are waters above, then why are deserts dry? Well, because the waters above deserts are frozen. So above a desert is ice. It's an ice sheet. There's just like a big so above, right? So for instance, above the Sahara Desert, right, is just this large expanse of ice, right? Which explains why the Sahara Desert is growing, because the land above is getting frozen. It's getting this, the ice is spreading essentially, right? The frost is spreading, right? And which explains why deserts are dry, because it's ice. And then the opposites, the poles, for instance, the North Pole and the South Pole, where there's a lot of ice, right? The land above it in the sky, right? The land above it is actually solid land, like green solid land, green vegetation. Why? Well, because there's the ice reflects light essentially. So there's high albedo, right? So there's high enough reflection to have green land, right? Which is why there's all these rumors about land beyond, Greenland beyond the North Pole, Admiral Byrd, all these people that that believe that when they cross like Greenland, for instance, then they see like Greenland. Well, because the land above it directly is like green. Why? Because reflection, essentially. And then the oceans, the land above it is just like oceans. And then areas like monsoons and like tropical, like the Amazon forest, all those places with dense vegetation, the land above it is water, is like oceans, big oceans, essentially. So I just wanted to like record that. And it's like, why am I always talking about this stuff? Well, it's not me, it's the Holy Spirit, right? And if I don't get this right, there's a lot of things I won't get right, like teleportation. So for instance, the two instances of teleportation in the Bible happened on water, Jesus and Ethiopian eunuch. Bye-bye. Right. Those two instances happen on water, right? So there's so many things that the Holy Spirit wants me to understand. But if I don't get this basic one, I won't, my brain won't be able to grasp it, which is why I'm always circling around this. So yeah, so that's Deserts 101. Bye-bye.